everyone. I hope everybody's doing well. Um, First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching and subscribing to my channel. I have 127 subscribers now. I never expected to get that many, and I hope each and every one of you know how important this is to me, and it just makes me really, really happy. It makes me feel like I'm doing something right. So, yeah, thank you to each and every one of you. Okay, so I'm going to try this video to just kind of give an update of what's been going on. Honestly, the past couple months haven't been the greatest. I really feel like I just kind of shut down. There's friends that I have that I haven't spoken to in probably 2 months, and I feel horrible. The longer I go not talking to somebody, makes it that much harder to be able to pick up the phone and call them, because it's so hard to explain to that person, please don't take this personal. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with me. Because that's honest to God what it is. I mean, unless you've done something to piss me off, it has nothing to do with you at all. Usually I shut down for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I mean, there were periods, back in the day, I should say, where I would go longer, but I had been doing a lot better. Even, after my mom passing and everything like that, yeah, I took some time to myself, but I still felt like I was doing better. And then I just shut down totally. I think a big part of that, honestly, was a lot of you know that I have... Sorry, I'm trying to find my cigarettes. I have been doing the whole applying for disability thing for SSI and SSDI for, it's 3 years now. 3 years. And, I got denied the very first time, which a lot of people do. So then I was actually represented by Sam Bernstein's law firm. Not as cool as what you might think. Went for my hearing March of 2019. I was denied by the judge. Sam Bernstein's law firm doesn't go any higher than that level of appealing for disability. So I had to find another attorney, and there's only one firm here in Jackson that takes a case as high as mine is, or mine was. And so I had to kind of go through the interview process and stuff like that, and it was nerve-wracking because if they weren't going to take my case, there's no one else here in Jackson that could represent me. Luckily, they took my case, and we submitted all the paperwork, because with the next step, what you do is all of your paperwork gets sent to the state of Virginia, and they review every bit of paperwork up until the point of your hearing date. And they review also, everything that happened the day of your hearing. And they decide whether or not, you deserve... They don't make the decision of, yes, you get disability. They make the decision of, yep, the judge screwed up, or, nope, judge made a fine decision. We're not giving you another court date. Well, I want to say we submitted the paperwork for the appeal probably in April of 2019. And we should have gotten an answer by April 2020 at the latest, even with this COVID, with the stuff going on. And never got an answer. My birthday, which is May 7th, came and went, still hadn't gotten an answer. So I took it upon myself and I contacted with Social Security. They had no record of us filing an appeal. Long story short, state of Virginia lost my paperwork, and they had to put my paperwork at the top of the list, and we caught that error in May. I still didn't get an answer until I think it was September, and I got the dreaded news. Yeah, I don't get a trial. State of Virginia denied me. And, in some ways I'm very, very upset about it because I feel like they denied me and I didn't even get a voice. I didn't get a say in anything. And it feels like a waste of time because, from March 2019 until September of 2020, waiting on and to not even get the decision that you wanted. But what my attorneys, because I have two of them, they're in the same firm, and I have talked about, and we haven't 100% made a decision. I think we're going to do that hopefully this week. Our next step is, what they had me do first is, this is the only state of the whole process where you can have my one case. I'm supposed to look at the cases as two separate entities. The one where I originally applied, the one that we're fighting on, and me, because they had me reapply for SSI. And I had my interview October 1st for that, and you can get approved within, I think it's 90 days. But that's the only time that you can do this, have two open cases. My attorneys have to scour, through all the paperwork, and we have to decide, what we want to do, because there is one last step. I think they said it's like a $500 filing fee, which that is not going to be fun coming up with. And then it's not an appeal. It's some type of lawsuit. I don't fully understand it. I do know that the waiting game for this one is not as long. Trying to think what else I know about it. I do know there would be another hearing. And because I have not gone in front of the judge that denied me twice, there's a good possibility I'll have to go in front of him again. Because the rule with this whole disability, the hearings, all that stuff, is you have to see the same, I think they're called ALJ, they're judges. You have to see the same one twice before you can request another one. And I have one of the most difficult judges, which is not a good thing. But we still haven't made that decision. We have 60 days from the day I got the denial, and I believe that was on September 25th, and that was horrible. I was on the phone with a friend, and I remember telling her, because I checked the mail, I'm like, it's from the state of Virginia, and she's like, well, go ahead and open it. If it was bad news, it would be from your attorney. And I opened it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, I've got to let you go. It's not good news. And I just lost it. Absolutely lost it. And of course it was a Friday evening when I checked my mail. So couldn't get a hold of my attorney. I couldn't get a hold of my therapist. Nothing. That was not a fun weekend. But I made it through. Let's see. I know, the silver lining to all this is, I knew there was a silver lining, is if the state of Virginia would have said, yep, Rachel, we think you deserved another hearing. What that would have done was the letter would have said yes, and they would have given me a hearing date, which would have been about 90 days out. So you figure I got the denial, which let's say it was an approval on September 25th. So September, October, November, December. We're looking at almost 2021 before I would have gotten a court date. And you don't find out that day. You find out 60 to 90 days after that whether you got approved or denied. So, and because I would have been going in front of the same judge, there's a good possibility that I could have been denied. And I would have been waiting until January, February, March, April before making this decision that my attorneys and I are making now. So that, I guess, is the silver lining. And when I did my SSI interview, the person, because that does take a while, the person on the phone did reassure me, that there are a lot of cases that have been like mine where they have been approved. And, if my case gets approved, not only will they owe me back pay for the one, they'll owe me the back pay for the SSI. So, I mean, it's not impossible. It's very, very frustrating. And that was something that I was holding on to, again, from March of 2019. It was something to hold on to, something that a small part of me was really hoping was going to be positive. For the most part, I'm a negative person, so I guess deep down I really didn't think I was going to get any positive news, but it really would have been nice. Really, really, really would have been nice. But as soon as I find out what my attorneys and I have decided, I will definitely do an update video on that and let you guys know, because it's a big decision. If I drop it, then I lose all my work credits, I lose all my back pay. It's a lot. So not real sure what decision I'm going to make. It just sucks that it takes so long for all this to happen. What else has gone on? Well, we celebrated my mom's birthday on the 8th. It was the first birthday since she passed, and we kind of did a celebration of her life and / retirement party because, my mom worked very, very hard at what she did for many, many years, longer than I've actually been alive, and wasn't even given a retirement party. So just a few of us got together at my mom's favorite place here in Jackson, at the Greystone, and, we had a couple drinks and, toasted to Nancy. And it's a very, very sad, and sad isn't even the right word. I'm trying to think of how to describe celebrating a parent's birthday for the first time with them being gone. There's just this emptiness that's indescribable. But I knew that I did not want my dad just dwelling on the fact that, that day was his wife's birthday and all, the past birthdays that they had had together. I wanted to do something for my mom that was going to keep his mind kind of busy and, make him happy. And he did. He enjoyed himself. We didn't have a lot of people because of, all the restrictions, but we were able to have some. And I think he had a really good time. I think everybody had a good time. We even had a cake for my mom. And I think it said, happy birthday, Nancy, celebrating your life and love for teaching. So it was really nice. Today, yesterday I got the phone call that my mom's headstone was finally done, and it was at the cemetery, and we could go out there and see it. My dad and my mom's best friend, Billy, we went out there today to see the headstone for the first time, and that is a very surreal moment of seeing your parent's headstone for the first time. I mean, that they're gone, that's where they're at, but when you actually see the headstone with their name, birth date, death date. Again, it's very, very surreal. I was honestly was very worried about my dad, how he was going to handle it, and he handled it very, very well. It was very, very sad, but we made the best of the situation. We put some flowers out by my mom's headstone, and then because my mom and my grandma are in the same cemetery, we went and saw my grandma, and we left flowers for her. So that was good. I'm trying to think of other updates for you guys. I don't know how many of you know this if you watch my videos. I'm trying to think of how to show you guys. I got 2 tattoos. This one on my wrist, I've had that one for years, but the bottom part of it, it was the semicolon. It was all messed up, basically. And I didn't have the money ever to fix it. The rest of it looked pretty good. It was just this bottom part that was messed up. This was the brand new tattoo that I got. And I don't know if you guys can read it or not, but it says, "It really hurt then. It may still hurt now, but I am in a safer place." That, I call it a quote. It's not from a famous person. It's from somebody that's very important to me. It's somebody's words that's very important to me, written in somebody's handwriting that's very important to me. And I read that all the time. And the person whose words it's from, they are actually referencing just one period in my life. But for me, it can relate to any such situation that I've been through. Any bad situation, because anything that I experienced in my past, it really, really hurt then, and some of it still does hurt now, but I am in a safer place than I was when all that was happening, whatever situation it was. So I can't tell you how many times a day I look down at that tattoo. I absolutely love it. Not just because of what, it means, but because, when I look at it, it also makes me think of the 2 people that were involved in this tattoo. I do have to go back on the 30th. They've got to kind of touch up like 3 of the letters, and then they're going to, I think they're doing something with white on some of the letters to try to kind of make them stand out. And then my wrist is finally complete. It's got, there you go. I think you can kind of see it better. Semicolon with the infinity symbol. And then we got Preston's name. So, yep. Loving my new tats. It's the good thing. What other new things? For physical aspects, I have started going to the chiropractor, which has helped so much. I started going when I lost physical therapy for about 3 months because insurance wouldn't pay for it anymore. I started going to the chiropractor. I went 3 times a week, and they were so wonderful there. I called ahead of time and explained, that I have complex PTSD. I'm not going to work with any men. And they have me work with a female chiropractor. They knew about Paisley. I gave them a heads up. They absolutely love her there. And yeah, that has helped so much. I did 3 times a week for a month, 2 times a week for another month. And right now, I'm wavering between once a week and twice a week, just depending. I'm still doing mental health therapy twice a week. I definitely need that. But I do feel that I am making progress. May not be big milestones, but I am starting to make progress. I started going back to physical therapy last week, and we're going to do about 2 or 3 weeks of once a week, and then upping that to twice a week. The doctor that finally referred me for more physical therapy, so the insurance company would refer it or pay for it, wanted me to do 3 times a week. And that is just, quite honestly, that's a lot of physical therapy. And you add in twice a week mental health therapy, minimally once a week, going to the chiropractor. I'm trying to see my son as much as possible. I think that 3 times a week is too much. So hopefully we'll stick with twice a week. The only other new thing that I can think of is I did have, it was probably, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I had another nerve block done, and I've had several of these in the past, but this was a different one that was supposed to, I think they said it could last up to 6 months. They didn't tell me until like right before the procedure that it could be a lot more painful, like during and after. I don't have my paperwork with me, but if anyone's curious, I can look up the name of the nerve block. This type of nerve block I will definitely never have again. It's been almost a month. I don't feel any benefits from it. It was incredibly painful while they were doing it because you're awake while you're having these nerve blocks done, but usually they give you enough medicine to where you don't feel it as bad, and they were giving me the medication, but I could still feel it, and don't want to have it done again. So, yeah, I think that's about it. I guess I would like to say I feel like I'm finally starting to bounce back socially. I'm still not really making phone calls other than to, my dad, Preston. I have a really hard time with making phone calls. Some days even answering the phone. But I'm really working on that. And to anyone in my life that feels like I just dropped them, that's not what happened. All I can do is apologize. It is so embarrassing when I shut down like this. But when you're so overcome with anxiety and depression, and it takes everything you have sometimes to just get out of bed, socializing, it's just not something I can do. And all I can really do is apologize for it, because I certainly can't promise that it's never going to happen again, because at this point in my life, I don't feel like I have a lot of control over it. When it hits me, I'm done. But I'm hoping at some point in my life that I will have more control over it. But that's probably going to take a while. So anyways, thank you again for everyone who subscribed, and for anyone that, might be upset at me because it feels like I dropped off the face of the earth. Again, it's not you. It's really just been me in the apartment, not doing much. But I'm bouncing back. So, all right. I hope everybody out there is doing good. And hopefully I will do another video soon. Don't forget to like, and please have your friends and family subscribe.